Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, leader. Welcome back to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm, founder and CEO of KLC Consulting and the Pop Aesthetic Leadership Academy. And thank you for tuning in to episode 82. This is the final session of a 4-part series that I've created over the past month to address the hiring pandemic of 2021. Listen, I am on a mission to help 100 inspiring and intentional women, and by that I mean you, leader, cross the next $1 million milestone in your business this year. And the only way we are going to be able to achieve our goal is by helping to shift the narrative around how team can not only contribute, but ultimately be the key to unlocking a deeply satisfying, lucrative, freedom-based business that stands the test of time. So today, I really have 3 primary goals for this week's podcast. One is to discuss how building and leading a dream team is the top core focus area for designing a freedom-based business. I want to talk to you about the top pitfalls to building a winning team. And then finally, how to make a critical mindset shift around how you approach the team building process. So I'm going to break this episode down into 3 main parts. Number 1, we'll discuss 3 major pitfalls around building a winning team, things that might be holding you back from building a winning team, maybe things you're already doing or things that you might want to think about or consider not doing in the future when you're looking to build that team. Number 2, we'll talk about what might be holding you back emotionally from building your dream team. Number 3, we'll talk about 5 critical mindset shifts to make around team building to help you lock in your it factor employees. And then finally, I'll share what we're working on in our Leadership Academy over the next 8 weeks and how our expert team can help you learn how to hire like a pro and begin to love the team building process. So let's start by diving into part 1. I want to talk to you about 3 major pitfalls that I see around building a winning team. Pitfall number 1 is seeing leading and managing people as an obstacle versus an asset. So most people see this whole management concept as checking boxes, something they have to do, versus something that is a huge opportunity to make a bigger impact. Do you feel like management is a chore? I get it. When you hire the wrong people or you're unable to let go of the day-to-day micromanagement of tasks, you will begin to resent managing people. Pitfall number 2 is not understanding that leadership is really a set of learnable skills. It's not just, born leaders. You probably heard that, like leaders are born, that's a born leader. If you set your mindset and focus on it, you will become a great leader. If not, you'll stay focused on extraction and never take your business to its highest level. And then pitfall number 3 is just waiting too long, not understanding that developing other leaders in your company is a job from day number 1. In fact, most great hires will take 3 to 6 months to land. And if you're in a rush to hire, you are already too late. Instead, develop a people plan and begin looking for your dream candidate 3 months before you're even ready. What's the worst thing that can happen? You'll find a rock star who's going to produce results for you. The bottom line is team is critical. Your skill can only get you so far in running a business. You can only go so far on your own. And your ability to impact profit and to grow is severely limited by the capability and the capacity of your team. And leadership is a lifelong journey of learning. The most effective leaders are really the least stressed in their roles because they're surrounded by a group of people who run in their own roles like owners of their own business. And because the decisions that they're able to make are similar to that of what you would make. Moving into part 2 of this episode, let's talk about why we stay stuck in the hiring process. So maybe you have said things to yourself like this: I've been burned in the past, or a former employee let me down, or they couldn't do what they said they could do, or I spent a ton of time training them and they just up and left, or I don't even have time to train and onboard an employee. I'm slammed. These are all situations that each and every one of us are going to experience at some point or even multiple times during our leadership journey. But what I want to convey to you in today's episode is that the benefit that comes from embracing this journey as an effective leader by far outweighs the struggles and the challenges that you're going to face. But if you stop and stay in the story loop, you'll never cross the bridge to the other side. You will own your job and you will continue to hire and fire and feel like a victim in your business. Or you'll be too scared to hire and convince yourself that you just want to play it small. But when you embrace team and realize the power of putting your trust in other people, building a relationship with them, and getting to the point where they can make an impact to the bottom line of your business, you're going to become obsessed with what it takes to effectively achieve results through other people. That to me is just the definition of leadership. It's somehow encouraging, incentivizing, really inspiring people to do things that are going to impact your business for their own reasons. So next, let's discuss the 5 fundamental mindset shifts around building a team. Number 1 is getting help versus cultivating ownership. Number 2 is employee versus entrepreneur. Number 3 is tactical hiring versus strategic talent acquisition. Number 4 is management versus mentorship. And number 5 is team is an investment versus a cost. So I want to break each of these down for you quickly so you understand where I'm headed with these concepts. Number 1, getting help versus cultivating ownership. Here's the difference here. Getting help is taking things off your plate, checking boxes, doing the to-do list, tactics, needing to follow up and oversee every employee's every move, versus cultivating ownership, creating entrepreneurs within your practice who will have an ownership mindset, making their own decisions. If you're feeling burnout and overwhelm and exhaustion, it's because your team is not clearing mental space in your brain. Mindset shift number 2 is the employee versus the entrepreneur. So the employee is tactical, works to complete tasks, get a job done, clock in, clock out. Whereas the entrepreneur really partners with you in your business. They believe that they're as much a part of the mission and the vision as you. They want to play a supporting role in their own mission, which is aligned with yours. They're self-starters, they're self-thinkers. And this really starts in the interview process. By the time you hire someone, you've already gone very far down the path of determining if they're going to be the right fit or not. Do you see how this fundamental mindset shift will change the way your company operates immediately? Hire an entrepreneur versus an employee. Remember, leader, it's going to take you 3 to 5 tries to find the right person. So you want to always be recruiting. Think about what's your hiring plan. Who is your next hire? When you say I need or we need, you have already just started tactically hiring and you're looking for someone to plug a hole. Invest instead in better, smarter, faster, more talented people every time you hire. Hire up. That is how you will become filthy freaking rich. Okay. Will that next hire leap the power of the organization forward? You are always looking for the next opportunity to bring someone in to raise the bar for the rest of your team and business. Challenge the status quo. Maybe this starts with hiring at entry level, but that means hiring for the DNA, someone who really aligns with your mission. Mindset shift number 4 is management versus mentorship. Management is constant to-do list, putting out fires, what went wrong. When you become obsessed with mentorship, your team becomes self-managed. They're fighting for the future of the business because they believe so deeply in the calling that they have the opportunity to be a part of. This takes time, but this is what cultivates freedom. Mentorship is the investment in the growth of your employee as a human being. Remember that this journey of employment with an employee, this is a mutually beneficial relationship. So think to yourself, are you in a collaborative partnership? Many practice owners have resistance to hiring because they've developed a negative relationship with employee management. And the employer really can only expect to get out of the relationship that of which is equitable to what they put into the relationship. That means it's not all about the money. So when you're wondering, why didn't my employee do that? Or why aren't they thinking like me? Or why didn't they give me that extra little push? What are you investing into them? Mindset shift number 5 is team is an investment versus a cost. So maybe you have said this. I know I've heard this many times. Employees are expensive and they're going to drain my profits. Well, I'd like to rephrase that statement for you. Mismanaged employees are expensive and drain profits, but well-managed, well-cultivated, and well-coached employees grow your business and grow your profits. And so it's time to stop hiring for jobs and start hiring partners who will trigger profits for your company. So I've talked on this podcast several times about our approach around the 4X principle. That means that when we're hiring people, it is to produce a profit for our company. The only reason to hire an employee is to perpetuate these profits. And so this 4X principle means that every employee is going to produce 4 times their salary for our business. So what they're coming in to do is results-based. They're not just filling a gap. They're not just coming in to be helpful. We are actually calculating and defining objectives for them and activities that are going to produce results that we know are going to ultimately benefit us in the form of profits for our company. And so where we're looking at the KPIs, these key performance indicators, do the things that I'm asking this employee to do actually contribute to the profitability of the organization? And so we're really talking about 2 entirely different hiring strategies here: release pressure or produce profits. Remember, 95% of the people in the world are comfortable checking boxes. So you need to really think about, what does it take to be a part of my business? And the final part of this episode is where I'm going to fill you in on why, if you are in position to begin building your own high-performing team, you should seriously consider linking arms with us at KLC immediately. Hiring is too important, leader. For every mishire that you make, it costs between 2 to 4 times that person's annual salary to make up for that cost. There's not only the loss of money and loss of time, but also culture erosion. You can't just outsource this process. And like I mentioned last week, think of the hiring process like online dating. You need to be very clear about who you are, your mission, what makes you tick, what you like and dislike, what your culture is, and what you are willing to do and not do in your business when it comes to attracting an employee who is the right fit for the organization. You wouldn't just post an ad saying on the online dating site, I'm looking for a man. Hell no. When it comes to finding your perfect match, this begins with you and your own clarity. And we're getting ready to kick off Milestone 3 in our academy, and we'll be opening up enrollment for ambitious female leaders in aesthetics and wellness who are ready to disrupt the status quo. If you're ready to access your next level of growth, here are the key areas we will help guide you through. Number 1, prepare your people plan, where you're going to get clarity around your next hires, when to bring them on board, what they should be responsible for, and how to compensate them. We're going to talk about how to identify and address the hiring mistakes that have been holding you back, meaning address the tactical issues that are no longer working for you and dig deep into the mental roadblocks that may be inhibiting your growth. We're going to help you learn how and where to find great people and how to keep them, incentivize them, and turn them into evangelists for your brand and your culture. We're going to teach you how to sharpen your leadership skills and master your business development, learning how to move from manager to leader of your business, putting teams, systems, and processes in place that move your business into autopilot mode. And then finally, we're going to help you develop leaders within your organization to catapult your growth and free you up to do what you are best at and what you love the most. Listen, I know we all have experienced unwelcome challenges, setbacks, and turbulence over the past 18 months. But I'm here to tell you that there is a booming demand for great employers. Yes, I said a booming demand for great companies, leaders, and cultures. Employees are more discerning than ever, and we must get creative about how we attract and enroll incredible talent into our companies in a way that is both lucrative and sustainable for our business. And you don't have to do it alone, leader. Join a community of elite business leaders who are on a mission to reach their full potential. Join a team of consummate experts who will help you every step of the way along your journey, and have accountability partners who will help you stay on track to your goals and inspire and lift you up when you get off track. If you're ready to make the move, head to klcconsultants.com/PLA-info. I know it's kind of a tough one. I'll link it up in the show notes as well. You can also find that if you go onto my Instagram page and hit the join link. You can go to learn more about our Leadership Academy. Learn about this academy that the aesthetic and wellness industry top 2% are all buzzing about. When you go to that page, we will have you fill out a brief application and we'll hop on a discovery call with you so we can learn more about your business and goals to determine if this is the right fit to help you cross that next $1 million milestone in your business. If you're even thinking about this work, if you're thinking about building a team, if you're thinking about working with a business coach or a consultant in the next 6 months, now is the time to explore this as an opportunity. And I would love the chance to work with you. All right, leader, thank you for tuning in today. I hope this episode was helpful for you in learning how to build a high-performing team and really thinking of the higher level strategy and mindset shifts around what that's going to take to help you catapult your business to its next level. All right, I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Fierce Factor. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you subscribe so you can automatically get new shows every week. I'd also love it if you left us a review. And come join the conversation online. If you're an aesthetic industry owner, operator, or leader, please join my free Facebook group, The Tribe of Fierce Aesthetic Leaders, a community of ambitious, purpose-driven professionals who collaborate and share best practices for growth in business and life. I'm honored you tuned in.